But not only Russia, but all the other sporting athletes are here, of course, busy training. And the spotlight is going to also fall on India. It's interesting when we look at their team because there's 119 athletes competing in 15 sporting events here in Rio. But what's interesting about the India team is that they have officially the worst Olympic medals record in terms of population. They had a good turnout in London 2012. They got 6 medals, no golds, but 6. That's the best they've ever done. But they still stand as the worst Olympic medals record team ever. And Justin Rolat has been finding out why India does so badly.
Chand is the fastest woman in India and one of the country's best hopes for a medal in the most competitive of all Olympic disciplines, athletics.
We have never won a medal for running, but with God's grace, I will get to the finals and I will win one.
But you need more than just confidence to win an Olympic medal. As Shiva knows all too well.
It is dangerous.
He competes in luge, a winter sport. It's a kind of super fast sledge, but there are no luge tracks in India, so he has no choice but to train on the open road. Like many Indian athletes, Shiv says he just doesn't have the money he needs.
At one point, I couldn't sustain, my career. I couldn't go for training. I couldn't go for competitions because we didn't have the money for that. So I started looking for sponsorships, and I actually went to 100 companies before one of them said yes.
Even India's Olympic movement admits the country hasn't always done enough to support its athletes. It says the country is poor and sport isn't at the top of anyone's agenda.
Sports has always taken a back seat vis-a-vis education. Families tend to give their children more education. The view is to, concentrate on education than on sport. Because the basic feeling is that sport doesn't bring in the money that is required to run a family.
India is investing more, but even that may not be enough.
The caste system is also one of the reasons why India hasn't done well in sport. We must remember that the lower castes constitute a bulk of India's population. And these lower castes are also the ones who are really the ones who don't have access to education, don't have access to good nutrition, health, which has meant that a large part of India's population hasn't been able to take part in sports and hasn't had access to sporting facilities.
But private companies are stepping in, supporting underprivileged athletes like Dutti.
What we bring to the table for these athletes is the ability to bridge that gap between those best practices which are unavailable to them otherwise and the final performance at the Olympic Games. That's what we bring to the table. We improve their conditioning, physical and mental, by leaps and bounds.
India will have its biggest ever team at the Games in Rio. The world's second most populous country will also be hoping to bring back its biggest ever medals haul. Justin Rolat, BBC News, Delhi.
Yeah, India hoping to beat their 6 medals total from London 2012 here in Rio. Stay with us.